I recently came across a story of a woman who believed another man was her twin flame. She left her husband, left her child, trusted that man completely, gave him money and everything she had, believing that destiny had brought them together. First, understand one thing: a person who genuinely loves you will never ask you to abandon yourself. They won't ask you to leave your family. They won't pressure you to sacrifice your career, your financial security, your dignity, or your peace. Real love is not manipulation. Real love is not control. Real love is not asking you to prove your love by giving away your money, property, or independence. Someone who truly loves you wants you, not your bank balance, your assets, or what they can gain from you. Whether you are rich or poor, successful or struggling, genuine love stays respectful. Love supports growth. Love respects boundaries. Love gives freedom, not fear. Now let's talk about the twin flame idea. Today, social media has made this concept extremely popular. People believe there is one soul split into two bodies, and they spend years chasing someone, believing that person is their other half. But here's an important question: where is the scientific evidence that one soul was divided into two? How do we know this actually happened? The truth is, we don't. There is no scientific proof that every person has one predetermined other half. Every individual has their own journey, their own lessons, and their own path of growth. Instead of searching for your missing half, perhaps the real journey is becoming whole within yourself. Now let's understand something that is both spiritual and psychological. You may have heard the terms divine masculine and divine feminine. Many people think divine masculine is another man somewhere, and divine feminine is another woman somewhere. But that's misunderstanding. These are qualities that exist within every human being. Regardless of whether you are male or female, you carry both masculine and feminine energies. The feminine energy represents qualities like compassion, intuition, creativity, nurturing, emotional awareness, and receiving. The masculine energy represents qualities like discipline, action, courage, structure, logic, protection, and responsibility. Both are important. Both are needed. A balanced person develops both. From a biological perspective, hormones can influence behavior. Women generally have higher estrogen levels, which often contributes to greater emotional sensitivity. Men generally have higher testosterone levels, which often supports assertiveness and action-oriented behavior. But biology doesn't determine your entire personality. Every person can cultivate emotional intelligence, discipline, compassion, courage, and wisdom. The goal isn't to chase someone who completes you. The goal is to develop balance within yourself. Now let's talk about love. Many people confuse attachment with love. They think constant thinking about someone means they are soulmates. They mistake obsession for destiny. But love feels very different from emotional addiction. Love is peaceful. Love is respectful. Love creates safety. Love doesn't leave you anxious every day. It doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't make you lose yourself. A healthy relationship calms your nervous system instead of constantly activating stress, fear, and uncertainty. Of course, every relationship has disagreements, but overall, healthy love gives you emotional safety, respect, loyalty, and trust. Another important thing which you need to know, love is only chemicals in the brain. When we feel attracted to someone, our brain releases chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin that contribute to feelings of pleasure, bonding, and happiness. These feelings are real, but they don't automatically prove that someone is your perfect life partner. Your brain chemistry can also be influenced by exercise, meditation, meaningful friendships, self care, and learning to love yourself. This means you don't need another person to experience happiness. You can create a healthy emotional foundation within yourself first. That's why self love is so important. When you truly love yourself, something changes. You stop begging for attention, you stop chasing unavailable people, you stop accepting disrespect, you stop settling for relationships that drain your energy. You become more selective. You begin asking different questions. Does this person respect me? Do they support my growth? Are they emotionally mature? Are they emotionally available? Do they communicate honestly? Do I feel safe with them? Do they bring peace into my life? Or am I simply attached to an idea? When you do your inner work, you naturally become less attracted to unhealthy relationships. Instead, you are more likely to connect with people whose values, emotional maturity, and goals aligns with yours. You attract people who are on the same frequency as yours. Working on yourself changes the kind of relationships you build. So instead of spending years searching for your twin flame, become someone you would admire. Heal your wounds, build your confidence, develop discipline, practice self respect, strengthen your emotional intelligence, create a beautiful relationship with yourself. Then, if someone enters your life who shares your values, respects your boundaries, supports your dreams, and brings peace into your life, you can build a healthy relationship together. Not because they complete you, not because they are your twin flame, but because two whole people chose to grow together. Remember this. There is no such concept as twin flame. You are not half of a soul looking for another half. You are already complete. Love should never cost you your self respect. Love should never demand your identity. Love is not supposed to be chased. Love should never ask you to abandon your children, your responsibilities, or your values. The strongest relationships are built on trust, honesty, mutual respect, emotional maturity, and conscious choice, not on fear, obsession, or mystical labels. Stop chasing labels, stop chasing fantasies. Start becoming the highest version of yourself, the best version of yourself. Because the healthiest relationship you will ever build begins with the one you have with yourself. If this message helped you see relationships from a new perspective, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And remember, the more whole you become within yourself, the less likely you are to lose yourself to someone else. Thank you for watching. Har Har Mahadev.